Only war.
What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. We got a battle report for you today. This is the second game of the RTT that we had to ditch. We had an 80-year-old grandfather's birthday party we had to get to, which was popping. So this video, we're going to go over what the Kroot detachment did against Dark Eldar or Drukhari. So we're going to go over picture by picture, turn by turn, what we did good, what we could have done better, and kind of getting ready for our tournament coming up this weekend at the same Alternate Universes event. So if you guys are Patreons, these videos go ahead of time up on patreon.com. And if you guys want to get the coaching of a Dirtbag or Dirtbag Nation, we have the competitive coaching or the Grandmaster coaching, which will be kind of explained to you at the end of the video. But we did get ranked number one Chaos Space Marine player in the world 2024, and we were number one player in the United States as of 2024 based off ITC ranking. So we know what we're talking about over at the Dirtbag Nation. So if you guys want to get that coaching in your corner, ask any questions, go over list ideas or tactics, head over to patreon.com. And we got new merch. So these shirts are legit. They are super comfortable. If you wash them, they stay the same size. So these are up on the merch tab, so make sure you check that out, because these are super awesome shirts. There's more coming, so if you guys have any suggestions, head over to Discord so you guys can give me some suggestions to make shirts up on the merch store. But let's get into the video. We'll go over the list after the merch sponsors, and then we'll get into the video. Alright guys, if you want to support the channel, head over to the merch store. The link is in the description below. We have our new sports themed Grey Knights, Chaos, and Space Marine logos on a bunch of different shirts. We just updated the shirt as well. These are probably the most popular. So if you guys want to rep these at the local GT, you can do that. Also sport the Dirtbag swag. So really appreciate it. Click on the link below. If you guys are interested in other merch, we do offer some 3D prints. We have Codiez, the Assassin, should be in every single list. The Space Marine Lieutenant, Space Marine Librarian, the Tech Marine for Grey Knights, and the Cypher should be in every single list. We have poker chips, which are great for sticky objectives. All of the stickers are manageable. These will be on t-shirts soon. We have widgets still, and we have about orange and orange. So we have orange Dirtbag dice. If you guys are interested in getting some dice thrown on the table, hit me up in Discord and we'll get back to the video. All right, so those are the sponsors. Like I said, check out those shirts. They're freaking awesome. And if you guys want any of the proxies, hit me up on Discord. And if you guys are in the Dirtbag Nation, make sure you're hitting me up if you have any questions anytime. That's the whole point of getting the Dirtbag Nation, have your coach in your corner. So hit me up on DMs if you guys are joining, or if you guys are interested in joining, have any questions, make sure you do that on Discord. So this is the list for the Dark Eldar. You guys can help me out if you guys are new to the channel. I don't know the names of everything. We do very well in 40k, we just don't know the names. So this is just a sheer, you could do well in 40k by not knowing other armies. As long as you know your army very well and know the core rules, then you'll do really well in 40k. That is a prime example of placing really high in the ITC rankings while not knowing anything about your opponent's army, kind of knowing what they do in general, just not knowing the names. So with this, you'll see, for example, these things give the pain tokens. He's got 2 of these guys. He's also got 2 of the jump pack Dark Lance dudes. He's got 2 of these small vehicles, transports. He's got 3 of the small transports, 1 of the big transports, which he has the double blade ghost mask dudes with the character leading them. He also has another 5-man of the big blade dude. They're fucking awesome. Incubi, I think they're called. So they're really cool. He's got 2 units of those in there. He's got the big gun guys unit with a character in another one. He's got 2 of the Bright Lance monster vehicles here, and I believe he's got the uppy downy guys in the kill team. It's just hard. Oh, and a bikes with the haywires. And I believe that is it. The Vect guy is in the transport. And what's cool about this is like he can just keep getting out, getting back in, getting out, getting back in, which was super annoying to play against. But yeah, that's his list. Pretty scary, honestly. Like, it can kill a lot of vehicles. He won his first match, and then this is his second match going into the Kroot. And then for our list, if you guys haven't seen the first video already, go check out the first video. But our list is, I actually really like this list. These guys are proxying for hammerheads. They're great Narlocs, but it's 2 great Narlocs, which are basically 2 hammerheads. I'm trying to figure out if I need to put them on a base to try and make them the same width of a hammerhead. They're the same height and the same length. And anytime I'm using a proxy like this at an RTT or GT, anytime they think that they can get line of sight to it, I'm like, yeah, 100%. You got it, because it's not the actual model. So, but I just think it looks so freaking cool. These are the commission painting back from Spooky. So we have 2 Uppy Downy Vespid. We have 70 Kroot Carnivores, 120 man, the other 10 mans. 2 characters in that 20 man, one which is the Lord, Warlord, and the other one, he has the enhancement, which is the Dev and anti-infantry 3+ shot weapon, which is awesome. And then the other guy doesn't have the enhancement, but he gives me the Feel No Pain 6-up. If he kills a unit, it goes to a 5-up. We have 2 Lone Spears, one with the Javelin, one with the Long Gun, which he has the No Deep Strike within 12, which actually comes up quite often. 2 Stealth Suits. One is over there usually. The other one is somewhere back here, I think right there. They have the free rapid ingress, which is cool. So I always rapid ingress one of the Rampager unit. So 1 Rampager unit on the board, 1 in reserves. I have Farsight with a Flamer unit in reserves. And then I have 2 10-man Carnivore units in reserves. The other Vespids are on the table. 2 Hammerheads. 3 units of 2 gun guys. These dudes on the Rampagers. So there's 2 3x2, which are really good. They have a 6-inch. If you shoot at a Kroot unit, I can shoot you back at full ballistic skill. So 3 units of 2 there. And a unit of the infiltrating Pathfinder dudes. So I put them over here so that way I can stop his infiltrators with the Uppy Downy guys. And they have a Scout 7, which is so good. So they're better than the Carnivore ones, because the Carnivore ones you can redeploy them, but you're spending 85 points for the kill team plus 55 points for the character. And if you don't have the character, you can't redeploy them. So if you're spending 85 points, I'd rather just spend 90 for the Pathfinders, because they can infiltrate with the ability, and then they can scout 7. So if you infiltrate them, and then if you get first turn, you can scout forward, kind of like screening, or you can scout back into more defensive position. But anytime I deploy these guys, they're deploying, infiltrating, and they're going to be able to scout off of the objective if you don't go first. So that way, if they get overwhelming force, they can't kill you off the objective turn 1. So basically the entire army scouts. It's really, really good. But this is the deployment. We're playing Burden of Trust, which is a super annoying mission, but it's actually a pretty cool mission. And it's the corner deployments. So it's the 9-inch circle in the center. This is the terrain at alternate universes. They have really, really good terrain. It's exactly like Games Workshop is. They have clear plexiglass terrain layout 1, plus all the actual Games Workshop printed terrain, and they all have mats. So it's actually a really, really good store for tournaments. And they do a month tournament every single time. So that's a very, very competitive, friendly environment at alternate universes in Blue Bell, Pennsylvania. But this is the setup. We have all of the guys basically right on the line right here. Their goal is to get in this little triangle. That is the goal. Every time you have a scout in your army, you want to get into positioning in that little corner right there, that little triangle. And then we have our infiltrating stealth unit up there. The other one didn't have to infiltrate. They're basically right there so that we can hop out and get line of sight directly across the board. He put everything kind of like uppy downy guys in the back, the jetpack dudes or bikes up front, the monsters there, two dudes over there. He's got Lilith, or the I think Lilith with the witches in this transport, and then the big incubi 10-man with the Vect dude in this transport. Jumpy dudes are over there. The other jumpy guys are in reserves, and I believe that is it. And again, he couldn't infiltrate over there. I don't care if he infiltrates over here, because once I scout move up, I'll be able to kill them turn 1. So he didn't infiltrate anybody over here because of that exact thing. So we put these guys out here so we could stop his infiltrators. I put them as far in the corner so that way he literally has nothing to do in this corner. And then that was it. So this is before scout. And this is after scout. So basically we scouted 2 of the gun guys up, 10 of the carnivores here. These guys again scouted back off of the objective. I had 1 scout guy come over here with the javelin. Everybody else scouted up as far in the corner as they possibly could, and then these guys are scouting up in this corner so that way they can block out this side. So I can block out basically my entire backfield over here, block out my entire top flank up here, and now it's basically just all about the trade game. So he happens to go first in this mission. He gets sabotage and no prisoners turn 1. So he's going to try and launch out his sister's witches over here so that we can try and kill these guys off the table. Now, this is the first, I would say, positioning mistake for the sisters because they just melt to shooting. So once he got some charges off, he charges, killed them with Lilith pretty easily. He should have left 1 guy, 1 witch back here, at least 3 inches away from the objective. So that way when he charges in, he kills these guys mostly with Lilith and then some extra attacks from the witches. But then if he doesn't kill them all, or if he does kill them all, he can then pile back 3 inches towards the objective to get behind this wall. And now they're basically just sitting there waiting to get launched out next turn. I don't really have a lot of line of sight to them if they're behind the wall. But in this case, he didn't have the 3-inch move behind the wall to get on the objective. He was about 4.5 inches away. So in this situation, he has all of his witches here with Lilith. I basically move up my dudes over here to get some shots off on them, on Lilith, because she's the character, so she can't remove her. Vespid come down over here, get up, get down, come down over here, and then they just kind of kill all of the witches and leave Lilith on 3. He did have a transport over here, which he had to do sabotage, which I was able to kill the transport. So the transport did sabotage in this corner. We moved up the blast javelin, moved up, shot the transport, gave me full rerolls. These guys were able to kill it at 2 damage, even with the stealth, just because of the full rerolls. So we used these 2 guys to kill the sabotage transport, and then this guy helped out. And then these Kroot carnivores that can see the lit witches, and these guys could shoot the witches. So that was my thing going on down here. Up here, he moved up his bikes onto this objective to try and get another target into killing. He basically shot these guys, and when he shot them, I was able to shoot back. And when I shot back, we actually killed the 3 bikes in return, which was kind of nuts. So that was bonkers. Now there's not a lot of stuff up here, so we're basically just planning these guys to get ready, so that way if he does bring in guys or move them up, I'm basically going to commit and kind of take over my top objective. These guys waited. I didn't have to bring them out turn 1. Hammerheads moved up to get some pot shots off on these big guys and pot shots off on these 2 big guys. We killed one of them, left the other one on 1. And then this guy is the pain token. These guys are still in the transport. And that was our good turn 1. So we moved up these guys to get on the objective. Stealth suits moved up. All these guys got on the objective to try and make this sticky. He has to commit to killing this unit right now because they're on the objective. And that was our turn 1. So his turn 2, he gets 2 points for doing the burden of trust on his home field objective. He didn't control this again with the witches because they weren't able to get on it. And then he gets secure no man's land, which obviously is pretty easy because he's able to commit into the center and then control that one. But this is turn 2. So he starts the launch forward. He brings up his transport up here. I think these are the guys that are able to move up. They can get out. They can then charge after getting out, and then they can spend a CP to get back into the transport, which I think is what happened here. So he moves up, gets out, murders basically everything over here. He kills the 2 gun guys, the 10-man of Kroot, and then hops right back into the transport. These guys commit over to here, so now they're controlling this objective. The pain token guy moves up. The incubi hop up, hop down, so they're over here doing sabotage with this guy. So he's going to be really hard to kill because I can't really see him. Lilith moves back onto the objective. She has, I believe, 2 or 3 wounds left on her. And I believe that is it. Now these guys start committing, so they're starting to move up. I believe I rapided. Yeah, so this turn I rapided Farsight for free with his flamers. When these guys got out of the transport, I forgot that they can get back in. That's why I put them down over here, so that way in my turn I was able to just kind of like move up 10 and flamer the shit out of them. But I forgot that they can get back in the transport, so that's why they're fucking all the way back here doing absolutely nothing, and now he's back safe in his transport behind the little triangle. So these guys basically aren't really doing anything. Hammerheads are still alive. Vespid are still alive. These ones, the other ones are blocking out the backfield up here. And now we're going to start committing. So we're committing our Rampagers. We're committing our 20-man. We want to try and blow up this vehicle to get to the guys inside. So we're trying to do this tactic where I can charge in with the Rampagers into here, charge in with these guys. If the Rampagers charge in and do the D3 mortals to this, it'll blow it up in the charge phase, and then in the pile in consolidate phase, I'm able to pile in, attack the guys inside, and then consolidate. So we still weren't able to kill it. We charged in, didn't do any of the tank shocks, like any of the D3 mortal wounds with the Rampagers. They all whiffed. So the guys, I think, put all the attacks into the vehicle, killed the vehicle to get the 5-up Feel No Pain, and then the guys got out after that, and then they were kind of just stuck in combat after I consolidated. So we were able to actually mulch down and kill everything but one of these guys, and then this guy is the only one that lived over here. So he's got one guy left, one big of the beasts or the monsters, and then we have 2 Rampagers and then the 20-man with the 2 characters left. And we did pile in. So when we charged, we piled in to tag the really Darklance dudes, so that way they can't fall back and shoot. So we tagged them. They're not going to kill my whole squad, so I just wanted to kind of like touch them, so that way they had to fall back and do something. And we tagged up this vehicle with the ponies, or the little doggies. So he fought back and actually killed 2 dogs in the melee phase, which was nuts, because I had one dog there, so that way if he were to get out, he'd have to get out all the way back here. So in this case, since he killed 2 of the dogs, he was able to basically get 3 inches out from this little point, which is, I didn't even think about. So you measure from the hull, which is this little point, so he's able to get basically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So he's able to get all the way out to here, which kind of defeated the whole purpose of me charging this vehicle. Everything else is still alive over here. He's got guys in this transport, which they're about to launch up and kind of tag all my guys in the backfield. So they get out, they charge, and they didn't kill the Hammerhead, but they did kill my character, which was right here. So they charge in, kill the character. I have to fall back with my Hammerhead, but I still have Farsight and his guys back here. So they launch forward, flamer all these guys. I think they make a charge because one guy lived, I think the character. He brought down his Bright Lances down here. These guys are still chilling in the backfield. Lil's still doing Burden of Trust on this objective. I can't get anything in this side of the board. So this is his side, this is my side, and we're basically just fighting over the center at this point. I was able to reserve rapid ingress these guys for free near the stealth suits. So that's basically the goal every game, is these guys are going to rapid ingress for free in one of the sides. So they're either going to rapid ingress down here from these stealth suits, or rapid ingress up here from these stealth suits. That's the combo with the stealth suits and the Rampagers. But yeah, I'm Burning of Trust every single time. This one and my home field, he's Burning of Trust every turn, his home field and this objective. And we're starting to commit into his home field. So we brought in 2 units of 10 carnivores from reserves. So they're going to get some pot shots off on these sisters back here. And they want to try and make a 9-inch charge. I believe they failed the charge. Yeah, they both failed the charge. There's still a unit of dudes kill team that was right here, that was in this little ruin. So they move up to try and deal with these guys. There's one witch character left. This unit that's still alive, because they keep hopping in and hopping out of this transport. They charge in, they don't kill enough. I basically pile in and kill all but the character, the Vect guy, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the incubi. These guys get mowed down by the flamers and Farsight, who's actually pretty good in combat. And then these guys fall back over this way to try and hold this bottom point. Going into turn 4, we're basically just clearing off and we're wrapping up everything. So Farsight's starting to move up, and Flamer, the jump pack dudes. Lilith is still behind the terrain back here. These guys are still blocking out the backfield. Hammerheads start moving up. The gun guys are all still alive, which is awesome. These guys are doing really well in every game. These guys move up. Long gun dude, 36-inch range, doesn't have anything to shoot. He's just kind of doing burn of trust. And then we're starting to commit everything into his home field objective, so he can't keep doing burn of trust on his home field. We kill the witch chick. These guys are still alive. And then going into turn 5, this is the final score. So he clocked out, I believe, on turn 5. I had about 48 seconds left, and we're basically just wrapping up this game. I think we were the last ones to finish, but we used the clock, so we finished on time. And this is the end board state. So turn 5, he was able to get 6 for burn of trust because he held this center objective and did burn of trust on it. And then his secondaries, he wasn't able to get bring it down, and then he extended for 2 points on this objective. Our turn 5, our turn 3, 4, and 5, we had 14, 14, 14 because we held this objective, and we burn of trust 1, 2, 3. So that's 4, 8 plus 6, 14. So we had 14, 14, 14 the last 3 turns, which is 50 for primary. And then our last 2 turns of secondaries was pretty good. We had containment. We had sabotage and assassinate, and then we had stend and recover assets, which we were both in his deployment zone to do both. So this is the final score. Let's bring this over. We had Dark Eldar, which is Drukhari. He had 20 out of 50 for primary, and then 15 out of 40 for secondary points. And then for us, we had 50 out of 50 for primary. We had pretty good burn of trust turn 3, 4, and 5. And then we had 37 out of 40 for secondaries. Pretty good secondary score. We didn't get anything turn 1. We had extend or establish in the center for 2 points. And then on turn 2, we only had engage for 2 points. So we kind of had shitty secondaries on turn 1 and turn 2, but then finished up with a 97 to 45 for the Kroot. So what did we learn with Drukhari is you have to basically pick a side, which his side was this side. He kept committing this way, which I think the bikes turn 1 didn't really need to do that. They could have either done a secondary or waited kind of in this little triangle right here to kind of come out, and once my hammerheads came out, they can then come out and do their haywire bullshit and try and blow up my tanks. The guys coming down with deep strike, I think they could have came down and shot all their dark lancers into hammerheads, because if they can kill the hammerheads, I don't really have a ton to kill his monsters. It really is just kind of like chip damage with the rerolls and potentially +1 to wound with the Kroot. And I think, again, turn 1 doing that pile back behind the thing, he still would have had a full unit of witches and Lilith here, which they could have committed once these guys came uppy downy onto the objective to then them do the burden of trust instead of Lilith the entire game. So these guys not being able to do a ton, they basically just blocked out the backfield. But once my guys came in up top, they could have got picked up and brought back down somewhere else to do something. My backfield was pretty much blocked out the entire game, so he couldn't get anything in there, couldn't get anything up there. So the only uppy downy thing he could have done was get down here when he had this side, once he committed to charge my character down here with that little boat. Once that committed, these guys could have came up and down and kind of started pushing into my backfield over here. And these 2 hammers, I'm surprised they were still alive into the Dark Eldar, so they probably should have died. And I was really impressed with the gun dudes. So just 3 2-man units, I think is really good for 60 points each. They're T6, 5 wounds. They hit like a truck in combat, in melee as well. So if you need to move up, get 8 shots into something and then charge, they do actually. They're marine killers. Basically, that's what they do. They're marine killers. AP 1 shots, 2 damage, and then in combat, AP 1, 2 damage, 4 extra attacks. So pretty good. Farsight, I still have to keep testing him. He looks amazing. Commissioned by Spooky. So I definitely want to keep testing him out. I think the free rapid with him, he did a free tank shock with 5 dice, which isn't really worth it, but he's just an extra free strat unit that has a lot of flamers that can fall back in flamer. AP 1 +1 to wound if you're within 9 inches. So If you don't bring him, the other list I have testing out is basically another Rampager unit. So it's another 3-man. And then I think I add 3 of the gun guys. So it's 3x3 gun guys, a Rampager unit, an extra Hound unit, and I think that's the points. So that is like basically just more Kroot instead of the Flamers and Farsight. But they have their role if I need to use them to chaff clear or do actions or come in their backfield and you know, just come in, because he is a 2-up 4-up with a ton of wounds and I think 3 damage plasma, 3 damage sword. So he does do pretty well. But that is the list. So if you guys like this type of battle report, leave them in the comments below what we did good, what we could have done better, and what you guys want to see in the future. If you guys want to see more Kroot, let me know. If you guys want to see more tournament plays with Kroot, let me know. But guys, I appreciate it. If you guys are interested in coaching, head over to the Dirtbag Nation. If you guys want the merch, head over to the merch store so you guys get these sick ass swag. But guys, appreciate it. Good luck, and we'll see you in another video soon. What is up, gents? 40k Dirtbags here. If you guys are interested in joining the Dirtbag Nation over at patreon.com, you get a bunch of perks. What we did in 2024 was we really expanded. I had traveled a ton and I played my ass off in 40k. Right now we're ranked #1 best player in the United States on ITC rankings. We were the #1 Chaos Space Marine player in the world this year in 2024. 2 years ago, we got ranked #1 Grey Knight player in the world, and this year we're probably going to go into Death Guard, hopefully when the new Codex comes out, or Emperor's Children. But you guys, if you guys want that head coach or that coach always in your corner, just to ask questions, bounce ideas off, that's what the competitive Dirtbag and the Dirtbag Nation is all about. If you guys want to support the channel, you head over to patreon.com. You can join the Justicar tab, which is $5 a month. You guys get access to the Discord Patreon tab. You have to be a patron to get into that Discord, and also I'm always there. All the other coaches are there. Basically, it's just such a good community over on Discord that you guys get specific access to it that only Patreons can get. If you guys want to bump that up, the competitive Dirtbag tier, you guys get to message me or another Grandmaster or another Dirtbag coach over the Dirtbag Nation to add unlimited questions, list ideas, list reviews, and bounce ideas off of. That's what having a coach in your corner is all about. If you guys want to bump up to the Grandmaster tier, that tier you get every perk under the sun. So basically you get access to Discord, you get one-on-one coaching, you get a call once a month if you guys would like to go over any RTTs coming up, any GTs coming up, any list reviews live over Discord chat, and also a special perk that Grandmasters get if you guys want any video suggestions like we do all the time with these table setups that we just upgraded thanks to the Patreons. You guys get suggestions or battle reports you want to see specifically played live by a coach or myself on the next battle report, or a live battle report coming up on the Patreon. So you guys get obviously first access to all the videos. We post them first on patreon.com, but there's just a ton of benefits to having a professional coach that plays this game all the time at the very, very high competitive level in your corner at all times. And that's really what the Dirtbag Nation is all about, getting you guys better at 40K, the basics, and being good in your community. So if you guys want to support the channel, I really appreciate it. Couldn't have done it without you guys in 2024, 2025. I am super stoked for, super excited for. If we really want to get a bigger studio going, that is going to be my focus in 2025, is really growing the community on YouTube and Patreon specifically. So thank you so much for 2024, all my Patreons. If you guys are interested in joining and want that coach in your corner, head over to patreon.com and support the channel. Appreciate it.